Let's make the chat test. Let's go opening song, because we all love the opening song. At least I love him, the opening song, because I like him. Music.
ホームはしぶく最終列車が通過夢の終わりに着いたような気がした運命線をたどった白と光の新宿結んでほどいて手のひらに何残す現状は連日に至るんでサンプルばっかちょうどいいのに更新ばっかから正直は日常が切な心よぎれた像はいつか消えてしまうほど割と記憶組み合わせて再生を体が世界に響く
Hello, Sophia. Oh my god, Daniel. What do you mean? I mean, why is this happening? And hey, Komiya, did I already said this, right? I'm so confused. Anyway, so I started Takeru's route. And how did I got this route actually? Because I didn't want to play the prologue again. You need to decide the right month to work with them together, or at least try to work with them together. And that's where we start now. He's actually from all this guy's very rude and has some tsundere aspects. But yeah, let's see what is happening with him or with us when we work with him together. Also, he is like a tech freak, so can work good with computers and is also a hacker. Hello, Zilong. Can you please tell Daniel that man-boy is your lover? So he literally asked us in this part what we can do good. I thought about it and answered carefully. Oh, well, you should say, Daniel, that man-boy is your lover. Spice Girls. I don't sing again in stream. Last time I get a lot of copyright strikes when I was singing. Yeah, what is wrong? I don't know. I think after it came out that Durandal is a real Kiana, Daniel lost maybe some brain cells. Maybe not. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I thought about it and answered carefully. So what I can do the best, it's probably not shooting. Because I'm so shitty in aiming. So we go with cooking. Wow, that's so rude. I didn't say this to him, Zilong. If I had to pick a skill, then I'd say my cooking.
Huh?
Sasazuka's jaw dropped for a second. My parents taught me, and I've been cooking for myself since I moved to Shinjuku, so I've gotten pretty good at cooking.
お前バカなの?
Wow. You asked this with a straight face. I'm very serious.
どこがだよ。それの何が捜査の役に立つって?
I glanced at Sasazuka's desk. Empty cup noodle containers and convenience store bento boxes were strewn about. I could bring you food. Actually, this diet is probably bad for you.
いらねえし、そういうの求めてね。
I knew he'd say that. I knew that's how this would end. I just wanted to say something unexpected. He mocked me as I anticipated, but perhaps because I said something unexpected, it felt like Sasazuka's rough edges had dulled.
真面目に答えろよ、このバカ猫。それ以外ねえなら、マジ問答無用で放り出す。
I got excellent scores in marksmanship. Well, as I let that fact slip out in a panic for some reason, Sasazuka eyed me intently. You can redeem this, but you know probably what it is, right? I mean, it's not bad. Actually, you know what? You bit a pussy, Daniel. I'm not even joking now. You just ran away when I was streaming New Carnival because he was thinking, oh my god, this game, it's so scary. It could have, yeah, like naughty stuff and things in it. I need to go. Probably that's how you run away from the stream. You didn't say anything, you just, yeah, left.
打ったことあんの?
No, not yet, but
だったら
But I'm prepared too. I asserted myself desperately in an attempt to silence any attempts at mockery. I've never used a gun in the line of duty. I'm also not entirely certain that I could until I'm actually in the situation. Well, you can't get bored from New Carnival, I mean. You can tell the truth here and say that you were scared actually. I understand this because some guys have like a big bong bong there. What? We forget this. Let's focus. But if that time comes, I train daily, so I won't regret anything. If my skills are poor, I might kill someone. A gun is a deadly weapon. Enjoy your movie. It's not something everyone should have. I dislike the way people in Shunryoku now, who without any training are all armed with guns. Sasazuka remained silent. I didn't say anything further. I vaguely realized that if I gave into the pressure here, it'd all be over. I wondered how much time had passed since we just sat her glaring. Sasazuka eventually broke the silence.
多少銃が使える程度じゃ俺の役には立たねえよ。どう見積もってもせいぜい桜川から情報を引き出してくる駒程度だ。
What?
諦めて柳さんあたりにくっついてろ。峰夫のバカでもいい。とにかく俺以外。以上。
Hold it right there. I've had enough of your that's alls. I'm not going to give up. If you won't listen today, then I come back.
はあ？普通に迷惑。
I keep returning and I keep asking.
迷惑だっつってんだろ。
And I told you that I'm definitely not giving up. Now it was just a battle of wills.
しつこいんだよ。
It take more than that look to make yield. There were some things that I cannot bend. I was literally putting my life on the line. Sasazuka looked clearly irritated, seeing all the determination flowing through my body. Or so I thought. He suddenly flashed a grin.
わかった。ならテストしてやるよ。合格したら少しは認めてやってもいい。さっき柳さんと俺が今日の事件の犯人はじきに捕まるって言ったのを覚えてるか？まずはそれがなぜかを考えろ。そしてそれを踏まえた上で X レイ事件全体についてある特徴を見つけろ。
Common thread?
ヒントはやらねえ。この程度のことにも自分で気づけない脳なしに用ねえから。分かったらもう帰れ。邪魔。
With that, Sasazuka turned his back on me for good, and I started to think for a bit. He probably thinks that he figured out the perfect gimmick to chase me away. But conversely, this was my chance.
それに、さっきの態度もそうだが、基本的に能力を認めた相手としかまともに会話もしない。
If he doesn't, then I'd just be a goofer. I don't want that. I understand. That's all that I needed to say then. As I stared at his silent back for a bit, I left the agency for the night.
あれ、猫さん。
As soon as I stepped outside, Okazaki appeared out of nowhere and approached me.
また依頼の相談に来てたの？もう夜も遅いし、送っていこうか。
Yes, please.
ね。
He's the one who offered, but he seemed surprised that I immediately agreed. Would it be troublesome for you?
そうじゃないけど、てっきり断られるかと思ってたから、猫さん遠慮深いし。
Please stop calling me that from now on. I'm Officer Ishika Hoshino of the SRCPO. But you know that, right? Okazaki flashed a slightly worried grin.
なら、今度からはイチカちゃんって呼ぶよ。それでいい？
Yes. Okazaki didn't agree or disagree. Despite his nonchalance, I definitely couldn't let my guard down around him. Ah, that's so cute from you, Komiya. I mean, sometimes it's just that I pronounce some words like a pepega, but yeah. Thanks. I give you an imaginary hug with fluff. In fact, his type might be the most skilled. What's so funny? Okazaki saw me looking serious, and I was cheerily preparing to ask questions.
ねえ、やっぱり君も彼らと一緒に X デー事件を追ってるの？
I really have to keep my guard up. You already know the answer, don't you?
とりあえず帰ろっか。
I started walking, feeling unsatisfied as he just dropped the subject. Okazaki continued, making small talk with his usual air, as if nothing happened. Confronting him only made me feel perplexed. Maybe it was a bad idea to say that. I wanted to be walked home. But I wanted to snap back a bit. Internally, I laughed at my competitive streak.
だよね、いちかちゃん。
Yes. Yes, it is. The cat and mouse conversation continued until we reached the house. Thank you so much for taking the time to walk me back.
どういたしまして。俺は普通に楽しんじゃったから気にしなくていいよ。
Smiling. We were obviously sizing each other up, and he showed off the smile. He was really formidable. Alright, then, if you'll excuse me. I didn't have the energy to keep this up, so I turned my back to him.
無茶はしないようにね。危ない時は俺を頼って。
Who? After he says that, Okazaki smiled. I lie.
なんとなく君、すごく危なっかしく見えるから。
Does that mean... I hesitated a bit and pushed forward. Does that mean I'm also an important target? Okazaki opened his eyes a bit, as if I'd caught him off guard.
違うよ。俺の市場。
He displayed his trademark soft smile. I said goodbye as I watched Okazaki's back stroll off, still feeling confused by his parting comment to me. I'm home. Oh, Kazuki isn't home yet. I checked my cell phone, but he hadn't called. Worried and annoyed, I started typing a text. Where are you now? Come home soon. After I took off my shoes and hung my coat on a hanger, I finally received a text reply from Kazuki. Akito's house, I'm staying over. At someone else's house? So suddenly? I was relieved to know where he was, but that just made me sigh because of a different problem. I'd like to meet them at their place, so please give me their contact info. His response was quick. That's not necessary. Geez, Kazuki isn't here, so I don't need to make dinner. I'm just going to take a shower and get to sleep. So much happened today. Meeting Sakuragawa, the latest X-Day incident, Minigishi's cryptic and disturbing words, also Sasazuka's test. My head feels like it's going to explode. I sighed heavily as I stripped off my clothes and prepared for the shower. I felt startled when my fingertip touched something cold as I was undoing my buttons. This collar had taken control of my life. Even right at that moment, it exerted control over my actions. That fact made my skin crawl. I can't say that I'm not afraid. I'd forget temporarily when I'm preoccupied. But when things slow down, I couldn't help but have thoughts of my ever-approaching death. That's why I have to give it my all. I looked away from the mirror and headed into the hot shower. Yeah, this should be good. Since I'd woken up earlier than usual, I was diligently working on making today's bento. No matter how busy life got, I tried to make sure I cooked for myself. It calmed me down and I also get good food as a result. I think about the process and the work. I visualize the combination of the ingredients and seasonings and the completed dish. That whole process is really fun for me. And at least Kazuki eats the bento box that I make for him. He never said anything in particular about it, but whenever I saw a lunchbox that came back empty, I felt a little bit relieved. That was probably especially true right now, because our relationship was a bit strained. Today's bento had Kazuki's favorite food. It was grilled pork marinated in miso. The key to the dish is grated apples. The acidity tenderizes the meat so it soaks up marinade. It's actually a popular menu item back at my parents' inn. Oh, I just had a thought. Sakuragawa likes meat, right? Forensics must have worked all night because of yesterday's incident. Maybe I take some for her too. I wondered if that would make her suspicious. Simply wanting her to give my delicious cooking a try was a perfectly normal motivation for doing so, but maybe I should make it just in case. If she gave it back to me, then I could just have Saeki eat it or something. After I settled up my decision, I began to prepare enough meat for 3 servings. By the time Kazuki came into the living room, breakfast and the bento were already finished. You got back early in the morning, right? Did you get enough sleep?
どうでもいいだろう。
Also, it's common now, aside when Kazuki disgustedly clicked his tongue up on seeing me. Are you sure you're not causing trouble for Akito's family? We have to properly thank them later. He completely ignored me. If I pushed further, I'd have become an argument. When I met Akito next time, I had to be sure to thank him. Breakfast is ready, just take a seat and wait. As the conversation reached its abrupt death, I recalled the conversation that I had with Sasazuka last night. I had slightly puzzled feeling as I served the rice and miso soup. After I got dressed and went to work, I immediately headed to forensics. But Sakuragawa was out taking a nap. She must be exhausted. After someone told me where her desk was, I left her a note and the bento I made for her and immediately went back to my desk. There was an official announcement on the news this morning which stated the yesterday's incident was related to X-Day. It spurred a lot of calls that morning. Are you alright, Moshida?
まあ仮眠はちゃんと取ったからな。なんとかなるさ。
Bags under his eyes. He doesn't look like he slept much. I try to ease his weariness by dealing with as many of the constantly ringing phones as was humanly possible. Yes, you have reached the SRCPO. This is Hoshino speaking. What? After I finished up a phone conversation, I noticed that the hallway was bustling.
おい、動画サイトだ。 X デー事件の動画が上がってる。
Once I heard those words, I reflexively began typing on the keyboard.
X で再生の日まであと23日。
Is this a park somewhere? It showed a fire near a public restroom.
過剰な愛の押し付けは時に狂気となります。それが妄想による愛ならなおさらです。世ごと狂気で脅され怯える女性がいても警察は事件が起きていないからと見て見ぬふり。
What does it mean? Something stuck in a corner of my mind. Also, the voice was altered. The voice's coolness comes through clearly.
多くの女性を恐怖に陥れた輩にアドリスが裁きの鉄槌を下します。
A dark figure was visibly in the roaring flames. Could that be?
通報が相次いでる。手遅れだろうな。
Yeah, the voices actually are totally scary in the games sometimes, and also the sounds sometimes. Because they just pop up when you don't expect it and just what is happening? I hope it's on Takeru's route a bit better for my heart actually, because in the route from Okazaki sometimes I got so scared.
昨日と同様、特防にも応援要請が来てる。星野、お前はここで待機だ。
Oh, but
こっちはこっちで人手がいるからな。
But there's also other voice, a distorted voice that sounds like yeah, I don't know, like from a child movie, like a Mickey Mouse a bit. That is kind of funny, in my opinion. But the darker one, oh my god, too scary. Mushida patted my shoulder, said he was relying on me, and left immediately. Maybe. I took out my cell phone from my chest pocket. The sender of the text was just as I expected. Are you going to the crime scenes? I replied immediately. No, I'm on standby. Then response also came quickly. Okay, fine. I wonder if you wanted me to go to the crime scenes. While I stared at the extremely terse text, the phones immediately started ringing. Yes, you have reached the SRCPO. After a little past noon, I was finally given a break. Because these incidents happened on consecutive days, a lot of the residents were hysterical, and dealing with them burned me out. I'm starving. I usually ate my lunch at my desk, but right now I wanted to go outside. I wasn't going to make it through the day if I didn't try and change up my mood a bit. It's cold. I don't really want to eat on the roof in a coat.
あ、ちょうどよかった。
I just happened to coincidentally bump into Sakuragawa. Thank you for all your hard work. After saying that, I saw her hands holding what was unmistakably the bento box I'd made, so my shoulders tensed up for a moment. Maybe she hated it?
これありがとう。あんたもこれから休憩？
Yes.
何挙動ってんの？弁当食べるならいいとこあるから一緒に行くよ。
What? Without understanding what's going on, I began walking to keep up as Sakuragawa grabbed my hand and led the way.
あら、もう一人のお客様って星野さんでしたの
？I'd been led to field support, also known as Shirashi's bait. As my eyes began to involuntarily wander, Mukai smiled happily.
主任でしたら不在です。ご安心ください。何？あんたも白石さん苦手なの？だったらなおさらちょうどよかったね。
What is?
お気になさらず座ってらして。今お茶を入れますから。
I walked over toward the pot with a peppy-looking gate.
ほら、こっち。
Sakuragawa pulled me over, and I sat on a chair in the lounge area.
ほんと、あいつさえいなきゃここは天国だよ。あったかいし、うまい茶も出てくるし。
Let me guess, you eat lunch with Muka here every day?
時間が合えばね。
This seems like unexpected friendship. They gave off completely different vibes, but perhaps they had a common interest.
年末は何かと物入りだからさ。この弁当は助かっちゃったよ。ありがとう。
That's good. I was worried that you might not enjoy it. But I was also pretty proud of today's bento.
なら期待しちゃうよ。
No, don't expect too much.
お茶が入りました。それではお昼にいたしましょうか。
Mukai sat down on the chair and poured us each a serving of tea. It seemed that she ordered food. A multi-tiered lunchbox sat on the table. My heart raced as I focused on Sakuragawa hurriedly unwrapping the bento I'd made next to me.
お、肉だ。わかってんじゃん。
It's miso marinated grilled pork. I hope you like it.
いただきます。
That was fast. Sakuragawa threw a piece of meat into her mouth, not leaving me any time to graze my feelings.
何これ、うまっ。
She looked at me with bulging eyes.
冷えてんのに肉が柔らかい。何よりこの味噌やばい。超うまい。
Thank you. I felt deeply relieved, and I was just about to unwrap my own lunchbox when she seemed to be glancing this way nervously. My eyes met with Mukai's. Mukai, would you like to try some of the pork too?
いいんですの？でしたらいっそ私の分と交換いたしません？
Oh, that's fine, but
うなぎはお嫌い？ここのは美味しいと評判なんですよ。
here that's too expensive to trade for something like my bento.
交換してやるなよ。この人、家庭料理に飢えてるから。
恥ずかしながら私料理の類があまり得意ではなくて、いつも出前やデパ地下のお弁当で済ませることが多いんです。
The abreast look that Mukai had as she said that looked kind of cute, and I couldn't suppress my laughter. Then I will gladly trade lunches with you. I traded my lunch for hers, and we focused on eating for a while.
それにしてもいつものこととはいえ桜川さんには恐れ入ります。
Mukai sipped her lunchtime tea and made offhanded remarks.
つい先ほどまで事件現場にいた方が平気でお肉を召し上がるんですものね。
Look, that's true. I hear today's incident was an arson murder. The shadow in the fire from the video. I cupped my mouth reflexively.
んなデリケートな神経で鑑識なんかやってられっかっての。
Sakuragawa offered her a nonchalant assessment.
仕事は仕事。あんただってそうでしょ、向井さん。
まあ否定はしませんわ。
The two of them shared a cheerful laugh together that makes things feel pretty bright. They're pretty cool. Both as a citizen and as police officer, I felt like I was pretty far away from being on the same level as they were.
しかし2日連続で X デー事件とはね。
Sakuragawa sighed dejectedly.
さすがに二鉄はきついよな。仮眠室のベッド、私には硬すぎてさ。
You must be very busy.
まあ仕方ない。事件がこっちの都合に合わせてくれるわけじゃないしね。それに今回は割とさっさと決着つきそうだって話だし。これは現場で小耳に挟んだんだけど。
As I made an involuntary reaction, Sakuragawa gave me a small wink at me as if to send me a secret code message.
昨日の事件の容疑者はもうほぼ断定されてて、今日明日にも任意同行されるらしいよ。一家の人たちの話じゃ、今日の事件もこの分だと早めに的は絞れそうだって。
Did they find an evidence or something?
まあそれなりに採取はしてきたけど、私はただその場で聞いたことを言ってるだけだから。
That probably meant that was the limit of what Sakuragawa could tell me. I can't press the matter any further.
どうした向井さん？
いえ、そういえば主任も似たようなことを言っておりまして。
Shirachi?
ええ、憎たらしいことにうすら笑って、もう犯人は決まったようなものだねと。そのくせ理由は絶対に説明しないんです。ええ、分かっています。私が悩むのを見て嘲笑っているのだと。
落ち着きないよ。いつものことだろ。
それでも腹が立つものは立つんです。
I sized up on my opportunity. Did Shirachi say anything else? They looked at me as if they wondered why I'd want to know something like that. Then Sakuragawa sent me a live book.
星野も白石さんには思うところがあるらしくてさ、敵の情報は少しでも知りたいんでしょ。
まあ、そうだったんですか。
Mukai stares at me with shining bright eyes.
わかります。本当によくわかりますわ。私たちとても仲良くできそうですわね。
Thank you.
そうですね。3人で立ち向かえば主任の1人や2人いつかきっとギャフンと言わせられます。
向井さん、それよりさっきの話。
ああ、そうでしたね。他にというなら、そうですね。彼らは捨て駒だと言っていたような気がします。
Sacrificially pawns?
何がどうしてそうなるのか、残念ながら私には理解が及びませんでしたけれど。
まあまた今度ゆっくり話聞くからさ。今日はこの辺でお開きだよ。
Your face. Sakuragawa gestured at the clock on the wall. It was time to finish our break. I wanted to get some more details, but it can't be helped. I declined their offer to wash and return the bento boxes and retrieve them.
うまかった。また作ってよ。
ご迷惑でなければ私もぜひ。
Yes, when I make it again, we'll have lunch together. I bowed deeply, then began returning to my desk, a step ahead of them.
すまんな。先に上がらせてもらうぞ。
Oh, thank you for all your hard work today. I yelled my goodbyes to Moshida and took a deep breath as I put the phone down. He said he was going to leave work early because he was working late yesterday, but it's already late again. There were more calls today than yesterday. It was so bad, Moshida and the others didn't even have a moment to rest while they compiled their reports. I have to hurry. Impatience keep mounting. X-Day was steadily approaching. Listening to the residents, calming them. Until recently those were my duties, but now I have to do whatever I can in order to solve the case. The calls were finally slowing down, so I figured I should combine today's notes with yesterday's. Oh, but before that, I should check in just in case. I took out my cell phone, hesitated for a bit, and pressed the call button. Hello, this is Hoshino.
何のよ。
So should I stop by at the agency this evening?
いらね
え。
来てもヒントはやらねえぞ。
I didn't mean it that...
以上。
An incident happened today too. He didn't even ask whether I had information. That's a low level of expectation that he had of me. I should improve my mood. Now wasn't the time to dwell on petty matters. Besides, as long as I pass Sasazuka's little test, he'll accept me. Yeah, I need to give it my all. I opened up the X-Day case overview on my PC and took a deep breath.
さっき柳さんと俺が今日の事件の犯人はじきに捕まるって言ったの覚えてるか？まずはそれがなぜかを考えろ。そしてそれを踏まえた上で X レイ事件全体についてある特徴を見つけろ。
Yesterday's shooting incident. Then today's arson incident. They seem to have pretty much isolated the suspect for both of them. Yanagi, Sasazuka, Shirashi, and of course people from the investigation's headquarters have already reached the conclusion. The reason they determine the suspect so fast? I should think about this simply first. What would create similar characteristics? What if they were suspects in previous crimes? It wasn't like the police were simply just folding their arms and passively observing the X-Day cases this whole time. They had a number of valid suspects and narrowed it down to one person of interest. Even so, there were reasons to doubt the others. They were released because they had watertight alibis. Even if they were released, if the case was unsolved, they wouldn't be left unmarked. Once a person was noted as important, they wouldn't evade an investigation dragnet easily. Especially not in a case of this magnitude. if you were suspected of being remotely tied to X-Day, the police had tabs on you. What if there was someone out of the witnesses that didn't have an alibi for yesterday's and today's incidents? Naturally, they would be re-examined as a person of interest. The August case was an easy one.
被害者は8月の事件の発端になった例のネットゲームの開発者だったんだよ。
Everyone pretty much agreed that the was someone who was harmed by online bullying in some way. It wouldn't take much time to filter out the people from the witness pool who fit that characteristic. So what about today's arson murder? Oh, that's right. I needed to do more research about today's incident too. Also, I saw the video. I was deluged with calls, so I knew nothing about the victims. On top of that, it wasn't confirmed that it was an X-Day incident yet. The video, coin, and the Roman numeral. Unless those all matched, we couldn't discount the possibility of a copycat criminal. Found it. Online news sites had already put together information on today's incident. The victim recently got out of jail. The charges were stalking and mayhem. If the August case was related to yesterday's incident, maybe today's incident was related to one of the previous X-Day incidents. So the commonality would be I go with this time. I hope it don't kill me now. Mayhem. After I said it aloud, I knew that it was wrong. The victims up until now were all killed. It's not just mayhem. April. Police kidnappings. This isn't it. May. Police abductions and murder. This isn't it either. June. Middle school explosion. No connection here. July. Stalker murder by grievous bodily injury. Aha! The circumstances of the cases were different, but the stalking component was key to both of the cases. I can't believe there was such an obvious point of similarity here. The common aspect that the July case and the arson murder from today shared was stalking. The shared aspect between the August case and yesterday's murder was online games. I now saw that the two cases were related. But now the real problem begins. I sigh. Especially in the August case, wouldn't the crimes be committed by the same person? That's what I would assume. But Yanagi and Sasazuka both confirmed that was not the case. Which means that they already had definitive evidence to make the assertion. Furthermore, they were so sure of this without being a part of an investigation's headquarters. The excitement from almost unraveling this and the frustration of not knowing the answer intermingled. I'm under the same constraints as they are. I'm here at the station, but I don't really have access to the headquarters. I don't have any investigative experience, so I was at disadvantage compared to them. But this wasn't an impossible task. As I responded to the occasional reports, I was absorbed with trying to formulate the best hypothesis I could think of.
ゼロ。昨日の件といい今日の件といい、一体どういうことなのですか？
Yeah, it's Kaya again from Genshin Impact. I mean, it's not Kaya, but it's his voice actor.
12月のカウントダウンは一つだったはずです。何のためにあのような。確かにあなたの命令なら執行者は動くでしょう。しかしいえ、ただ計画が狂うのは気づかせる彼女、星野一か首輪の実験体のことですか？理由は話していただけないのですね。わかりました。失礼します。
As I worked and thought deeply about the case, night had creeped up. I went to the convenience store to buy dinner, and I was about to return to my desk.
触んなよ。話せって言ってんだろ。
おとなしくしてください。場合によっては公務執行妨害で逮捕しますよ。
俺は無関係だっつってんだ。くそ、話せよ。
落ち着け。詳しい事情は取り調べ室で聞くと言ってるだろ。
I watched a man with a fiery temperament get surrounded by many investigators and taken away. Was that?
射殺事件の重要参考人らしいぜ。ほら、X デーの。
When I turned around, Saeki was standing next to me. I hadn't even realized it. He really did get caught. I thought I was in a dream or something, and as I watched the disturbance get shuffled out of my view, I apparently caused Saeki to worry.
おい、大丈夫か？疲れてんの？
No.
本当かよ。同期の目をごまかせると思うなよ。
Oh well, Komiya, if you go to sleep, then sleep well and have sweet dreams. All fine. Thank you for joining. I'm telling the truth. I was just a bit surprised. Despite my protests, Saeki continued to eye me suspiciously.
お前、確か明日は非番だろ？なんなら今夜飲みにでも行く？
Sorry, I've already made plans tonight. I feel bad for Saeki, but my brain couldn't handle drinks and conversation right now. Oh, if you're hungry, you can eat this.
おい、星野!
After I pushed the plastic bag in my hand to him, I beat a quick retreat. I just apologized to Saiki later. Anyway, I need to contact him now. Ah, yes, thank you, Komiya. After I took out my cell phone, I immediately dashed off a text to Sasazuka. A person of interest was brought in for yesterday's murder. As expected. Oh yeah, as for the test, your time's up when the second one is brought in. What? He never told me that before. The sudden addition of the deadline stunned me. But it wasn't like arguing with Sasazuka was going to do any good. So all I can do is get moving. I couldn't waste any time that I had. What should I start with first? I want to see if the coin from the arson this morning matched or not. Maybe Sakuragawa would know. Afterwards, I should see if I could get some information out of Shirashi.
まあ星野さん、せっかくいらしてくださったのにすみません。残念なことに今日は主任がいるんです。
Mukai welcomed me in with the expression that looked like she was at a funeral, and Shirachi's face popped out from behind her.
俺がいるのは当たり前だと思うんだけど、向井さんは不思議なことを言うね。それに、彼女は俺の方に用があるんじゃないのかな？
Yeah. I nodded without hesitation, and Mukai opened her eyes wide, as if she'd seen something that was unbelievable.
星野さん、まさかとは思いますが、この人の毒牙にかかったわけでは。
What?
失礼だな。合意の上だよ。
そんな。
Oh, that's not what this is. It's not like that.
ですよね。安心しました。ですが、くれぐれもご用心を。
ご用心ね。何の心配をしてるのやら。
I think it's probably because you are always misleading people. I signed and then got down to business with the smirking Shirashi. Actually, I have something that I'd like to ask.
何かな？ああ、そういえば君、笹塚くんからテストされてるんだっけ？そのこと？
It looked like my situation was a common novel. Yes, I've been trying to solve it on my own. I'm close, but I'm stuck.
俺が役に立てるかどうかはわからないけど、とりあえず聞いてあげるよ。
So basically, whether or not he gave me hints would depend on his capricious mood. Nervously, I mentioned the aspects of the two incidents that I discovered last night. Then Shirashi smiled faintly and shrugged his shoulders.
そこまで分かっててなんで気づかないかな。君、ちょっと頭が固いんじゃない？
Shirashi's expression turned to one of boredom, so I simply agreed with him. Probably. That's why I came to talk to you. I heard that like Yanagi and Sasazuka, you were also saying that the suspect would be apprehended shortly. Additionally, you said that they were a sacrificial pawn.
へえ、向井さんあたりから聞き出したのかな。なかなかやるね。
His eyes narrowed like the Cheshire cats and formed as fascinated are. Looks like I was successfully able to pick his interest.
捨て駒っていうのはね、そのままの意味だよ。
Nothing was clicking for me yet. Something was still missing. I think that the person of interest brought I'm today was probably someone that was a suspect from the past incidents. He had a watertight alibi at the time, but not this time. That's why it was so quick to narrow it down, right?
うん。だからさっきも言ったじゃない。なんでそこまで分かってるのに気づかないの？君さ、そもそも X デー事件がどんなものだったか忘れてない？
What?
動画でもご丁寧に毎回言ってくれてるのにさ、忘れられてるなんてかわいそうにね。
He left me with that and a disinterested sign as Shirashi exited the room as if he had grown tired of playing with the toy. But I was stuck speechless. I didn't even try to stop him. The cases with the connected aspect, sacrificial spawns, the purpose of the X-Day incidents, oh my god.
これで終わりではありません。我々は今後もこの国を再生するために正義を貫きます。我々の名はアドニス。
That's right, the X-Day incidents aren't one-man crimes. Adonis is behind all of them. Also, each crime is done by a different person. One organization is behind them all. So individuals with motive may have perfect alibis, but still be tied to the crimes if... The puzzle pieces scattered in my head. We're starting to form a picture now. Maybe. That's what's going on here. My hands trembled and I whipped out my cell. I typed a quick text. I know the answer. I head to the agency tonight. There was no response. But that didn't matter to me. I just wanted to meet with Sasazuka as soon as possible and learn if this was the right answer or not. After I arrived at the forensics department, I happened to lock eyes with Sakuragawa. She left her desk immediately and waved as she walked towards me. Sorry, you're still working, actually.
コインなら一致したよ。それ以外、特に話せることはなし。悪いね。それじゃ。
I thanked Sakuragawa as she returned to her desk, and I left the area. Many emotions mixed together, but I quickly headed back to my department. It It was late and there were fewer reports, so I got ready to leave the station. I should probably call just in case. Ah, Sasazuka, it's Hoshino. I was thinking of heading to the agency right...
あ、忘れてた。今日は来るな。
What?
忙しい。明日にしろ。
What's the deadline?
答えが出たならそれでいい。とにかく明日だ。以上。
Sheesh, what a self-centered jerk. Knowing Sasazuka, even if I assert myself and go, I'm sure he won't listen to me. I made a deep sigh and decided to give up and go home. There's much fewer people around here now. Before the quarantine, there would be people out even in the middle of the night. But right now, Shinjuku was nearly quiet. Before there would be kids playing in that park over there. The children's park in the corner of my eye seems out of place. Speaking of which, I used to play in parks like that with Kazuki when we were small. I felt a strange sense of nostalgia, so I... Yeah, thank you, Zilong. How is your league game? What? Oh, okay. I thought... doesn't matter. I need to go. I shook off the slight feeling of nostalgia and started on my way home. As I arrived at the apartment, I happened to cross paths with Kazuki, who was apparently just on his way out. Ah, okay. I arched my brows and glared at Kazuki. And where are you going at this time?
今日も秋田のとこ泊まるから。
You're staying over 2 nights in a row during the week? That's going to burden his family a lot. And where's your uniform? Are you trying to skip school on the top of that? Then Kazuki shot me a fed-up look.
2日連続で事件起きたからって休校になった。秋田の家なら平気。親仕事でいないし。
But even so...
お前、明日非番って言ってたじゃん。一日中一緒にいるのうんざりするし。もういいからほっとけよ。都合のいい時だけ姉貴面すんな。
Hey, Kazuki. I reacted by reaching out my hand at him, but he brushed it aside and ran off. Convenient for me. I wondered why our relationship had deteriorated to this state. I'm just worried. After I stood in that spot for a while, I let out a deep sigh.
あれ、いちかちゃんだ。こんにちは。
After I arrived at the front of the agency, Okazaki called out to me and I greeted him by keeping my guard up. Okazaki, you look like you're working hard.
そっか、今日は非番なんだね。また依頼の相談？
Something like that. And you, Okazaki? Guard duty must be tough in this cold. Our conversation gave me mild chills. We both knew why each of us were really here.
今はね、俺の後輩くんが朝ごはん買ってきてくれるのを待ってたところなんだよ。張り込みの定番は牛乳とアンパンだって。ドラマの見過ぎだと思わない？
先輩が今はそれしか食べたくない気分って言ったんじゃないですか。
A man with a convenience store bag seemed to be protesting Okazaki's description of events. I assumed this was his subordinate.
吉成くん、嘘はいけないよ。
この人もしかして。どうも、俺吉成秀明っす。岡崎先輩のパシリみたいなもんすね。
Hello. I noticed that he was also wearing an SP badge. Not one, but 2 SPs were keeping watch on the agency. That's pretty heavy scrutiny.
吉成くんのせいでどんどん俺が誤解されてく。
真実っすから。岡崎先輩アンパンのメーカーまで指定したじゃないっすか。
はい黙って。
Oh, this too. Oh my god.
ごめんねいちかちゃん。彼のことは気にしなくていいから中へどうぞ。
I ignored the cries of subordinate Kun, who was still reacting to Okazaki pounding his head, and Okazaki extended his arm to escort me. I really don't understand this person. Alright, if you excuse me. I knew I had to keep my distance, but I also didn't think that I hated them. Good morning. Where's Sasazuka?
知るかよ。
What?
榎本。
Only Yanagi and Enomoto were in the agency. Yanagi looked appalled and Enomoto sullen. What's wrong?
なあ、さっきちょっとやり合ってな。笹塚なら屋上にいる。
ちょっとあれがちょっとかよ。柳先輩も聞きましたよね、あいつの暴言。
お前が余計なちょっかいをかけるからだ。悪いな。こいつのことは放っておいて、笹塚のところに行ってくれ。
Sorry. Enomoto was completely sulking and wouldn't even try to look this way. Yanagi sent me on my way with an uncomfortable smile and I headed towards the rooftop. Oh, there he is. Sasazuka was sitting on the rooftop, clad in a coat and working on his laptop in this chilly weather. Sasazuka?
ちょっと待ってろ。
Maybe he was trying to reach a good stopping point, but Sasazuka glanced at me for a nanosecond and returned to his screen. I don't really mind waiting, but isn't Sasazuka cold out here? I continued to wait patiently as I listened to the sound of his nimble fingers tap the keys and as I rubbed my hands together to keep warm. After a while, he apparently had found a good stopping point and finally turned around. It's about the test.
それ以外に何があるんだ。 さっさと答えろ。
Sasazuka wanted the facts up. I still wasn't to his direct style, but I thought I could adapt to it gradually. As I thought, I took a short breath and responded. I think it's substitute killing. Sasazuka's mouth formed a smile.
理由は
Commonalities kept rising. The August case and the recent shooting are both tied to online games. The July case and the Azon murder are linked by a common thread of stalking. Furthermore, the person of interest brought in yesterday was a previous suspect, but he was released because of his alibi. But he didn't have an alibi this time. They had to have a reason to pull suspects from past cases, so I checked to see Sasazuka's reaction so far. He nodded at me to keep going.
続けろ。
Normally, with cases this smiler, you'd hunt for one suspect who committed all the crimes. But if their alibi still holds for one case, they can't have committed all the crimes. However, because these are X-Day cases, I didn't intentionally realize that they are all being done by the same culprit. Shiro's dead, what the fuck, hey Asta Frost. These cases do have a single party who has motive, and that is Adonis. These crimes are all performed by one organization. If the crimes are plotted on an organizational level, you can still commit the crimes you want by shielding your likely suspects. So that's why I think that what we are seeing is a result of Adonis carrying out substitution murders. I held my breath and waited for a response. He gave me a bemused response.
正直全く期待してなかったけど、バカはバカでも使えるバカだったらしいな。
Wow.
75点。爪が甘いって言ってんだよ。お前の論理にはまだ穴がある。ま、バカ猫なりに頭ひねって考えたとこは評価してやるけどな。
Sasazuka grinned. I relaxed and I felt at the tension in my body release, and I nearly crumbled. Relief, accomplishment, joy, and a little bit of another certain feeling. I breathed in, and then I found the energy to say the words I'd longed to say. Stop calling me an idiot all the time.
Oh.
I thought hard to figure this out. I've never investigated before, so I didn't know what I was doing, but even still, I wanted to complete this task no matter what. I wanted to be recognized. I know I'm not the best. I know I fall short, but I gave it my all and I did it. So, give me a credit and stop calling me an idiot. I was finally able to let it all out. Feeling half exhilarated and half scared, I was completely unprepared for the words that Sasazuka said next.
何キレてんだよ。せっかく褒めてやったのに。
What? How is that praise?
使えるって言ってやっただろ。
No, you didn't. You said I was a useful idiot. You can't just ignore the idiot part of that.
細かい。
Because this is important to me.
うるせえバカ猫。調子に乗ってんじゃねえ。
There you go again.
俺よりバカなうちは諦めろ。
I can't believe that his trust goes up in this for, yeah, this conversation. Lol. What the hell? This deplorable man was just bursting with pompousness, arrogance, and rudeness. I wondered how long it would take for him to truly acknowledge me. Still, he's very skilled, and I can really use him as an ally right now. That was how I ultimately felt about it. Sasazuka exhaled lightly and looked at me again and spoke.
でもまあ、合格は合格だ。一応最低限のところまでは掴んできたからな。
What a relief. Why are you laughing?
尻尾振ってんのが見えて。お前猫ってよりは犬かもな。わかりやすすぎ。よかったな、バカ犬。
Dog? Look, you're being really rude. As I started to protest, Sasazuka cut off my protest by extending a donut towards me.
やる。
I was taken by surprise for a second, but then I quickly saw his true intention. Is this supposed to be my show?
褒美だよ、褒美。
Oh my god. Oh, so you are treating me like a dog.
うるせえの、黙って食え。この俺が誰にでもドーナツをくれてやると思うな。むしろ光栄に思うとこだろ。
He insisted, and so I eventually relented and begrudgingly accepted his donut. It's sweet. After I took a bite of the donut, its sweetness untangled my tongue. Whether or not he was treating me like a dog, I started to reluctantly accept it. He sort of recognized me after all. Now I could finally pursue the case as Sasazuka's partner.
なあにボケた顔してんだ、バカ。
I don't know if I want this. Oh my god, he's so rude. His rudely shocking words made me choke. As I sputtered and coughed, Sasazuka grinned at me and said,
言っとくけど、お前の扱いはまだパートナーじゃねえぞ。
I mean, it depends, right? It's more nice to get put in a cage, I guess. Also, the Roots, the Sundara characters are mostly like Woody boys also.
ただの駒から少し使える駒になっただけだ。そこは勘違いすんなよ。
What?
当然だろ。 俺らが簡単にたどり着けるレベルのテストに合格したくらいで調子に乗られても困る。ただしうまくやれたらまた褒美くらいはくれてやる。せいぜい働けよこっち。
Obviously pleased with himself over his demanding put down, I had to lash out. I'm telling you to stop treating me like a dog. He picked up the bag of donuts, took one out, and bit into it. You must really like sweet things. Perhaps he saw my face that I thought that aspect was cute. Sasazuka glowered at me.
好きで悪いのか。
Yatta! Hello, Kiami. He hurried to his nostrils and quickly left the rooftop. Hold on! I had no idea why he got so scuffed by that utterly tame comment. I cleaned the table and chased after him with the computer. Jeez, what a thin-skinned, pompous ass. Oh my god. How are you, Kiami? Still, it felt pretty good to be able to say that I'd taken my first step. The re-investigations begins now. That's nice, that's nice. I'm good too. We just get insulted from the boy here, but I think it's fine. Banana. As the cold air brushed against my cheeks, and with overflowing motivation and drive, I opened the door to downstairs.
おかえり、二人とも。
Who? Shirachi. I was immediately welcomed by Shirachi, who gently waved at me. Oh, this game is about mystery, crimes, yeah, and dating. It's a visual novel, actually. Isn't this a Doki Doki Literature Club or something like this? I guess, yeah, I think it's a Otome game too, but it's with women's, right? That you can date women's. I survived the room and I noticed that Enomoto didn't seem to be there anymore.
Enomoto は笹塚と顔を合わせたくないらしい。白石はついさっき来たばかりだ。
くったらね。そんなんだからダメなんだよ、ミネオのアホは。
Oh well, the games are still very popular. to be honest. It just, I think it got even more games that we get in the West also. So the games get localized in with English also, which is nice. But yeah, there are the ones that are for boys and there are the ones that are for girls. I don't remember how it calls for the boys. It was Ralga game or something, but for girls or women it's Otoma games.
分かっていて挑発するお前もお前だろ。
それくらいしなきゃ動かねえだろあいつ。
いいのいいの、気にしなくて。それより君、笹塚くんと仲直りしたんだ。
Oh well, this can also happen. Like bad endings in a game. It depends what decision you make. Reconcile. I didn't realize that I'd been fighting with him and Sasazuka quickly interjected.
こいつ、俺と組むことになったから、一応テスト合格ってやつ。
そうか。
He smiled and congratulated me, and I meekly nodded.
何デレデレした顔してんだ、バカ。
I don't like that. I don't look like that.
うるせえ、本題はここからなんだよ。きっちり気を引き締めろ。
Sasazuka threw his jacket towards the desk and looked over at Yanagi and Shirashi.
とりあえず、こいつの頭の整理も兼ねて現状をまとめとこうと思
う。いいんじゃないか。俺も少し整理しておきたい。
どうぞ。俺は温かく見守ってるよ。
Shirashi was being his usual laissez-faire self, as I couldn't tell if he actually cared about what goes on here or not. Well, I just got the game a few days ago and I had so far like... Let me think. On his route, on the route from this guy, I didn't have a bad ending yet. But on the route that I played before, the Kei Okazaki route, there I had a bad ending when I was playing it off stream actually. There was a bad ending that I got killed by a lot of shootings. And the boy killed himself, I mean the man boy killed himself also. And there was also an ending in a game called Steam Prison, which was actually totally bad. There, the MC getted to lose all her blood, and the bad guy cutted out the eyes from the lover that you had in the game, and you just boss died. And you also had in this game like death ASMR, so you could hear when you die and the blood was floating out from your body, and you hear when the bad guy was cutting out the eyes from your lover. This was actually a total horrible ending, not even kidding. But yeah, I don't know how it is here, but so far I had one bad ending, but not on his route. I think you have in this game, I don't know how much bad endings it has. I really don't know. I will see. Because I didn't finish it yet. But in other game, in Steam Prison as example, that you have, if I right remember, one good ending Then you have a normal ending, which is okay. And then you have like 3 or 4 bad endings.
「一連の事件が交換殺人ってとこまではこいつもたどり着いてる。問題はそこからだ。おい。
Yes.
さっき俺が75点って言ったの覚えてるか？
Yes.
俺含め柳さんや白石さんはもう一歩先までたどり着いてる。ちょうどいいから今ここで残りの25点を埋めてみせろ。
It just came right out and suggested it so naturally, but my body instantly tensed up. But I couldn't retreat now. This was probably another phase of Sasazuka's test. Alright. After I nodded, Sasazuka laughed and displayed a look that was obviously malicious. I even saw the evil intent from profile view.
せいぜい頑張れよ。1時間でパートナー解消なんて笑えねえし。
やった！
あまり煽るな、笹塚。それよりどこから話すんだ？
まずは処方の処方からだよね。笹塚くん、動機の話って申した？
いや、そっか。そこからかよ。
なら最初は俺がまとめよ
う。Yanagi threw a lifesaver as Sasazuka made his annoyance apparent.
星野、X テージ事件の詳細はちゃんと頭に入ってるか？説明が必要なら言ってくれ。
Okay, Kiami, sleep well, have a nice sleep and sweet dreams. Thank you for joining. As he asked me, I'm fine. I remember the basics of all the cases. I should at least. I hope so.
そうか。ならそこは省くぞ。
じゃあ、本題はここからだね。
I swallow my breath after Shirashi's word.
交換殺人って結論に行き着いたのは最近起きた事件と過去の事件に共通するキーワードがあったからだろう。
Yes. The July case and the December 8 case, they both involved his dog. The August case and the December 7 case, both of them involved online bullying. Without these common aspects, I wouldn't have ever considered the possibility of a substitution murder.
でも俺たちは X レイ事件すべてに別の共通点を見出してる。
Which is?
犯人の動機だ。
犯行声明を出してるアドニスは汚れた日本を再生するって名目を掲げてるわけだけど、個々の事件に関してはなぜその人間を殺したかったのか必ず理由があるはずなんだよね。
A series of killings should have a motive. In regards to the July and August cases, the motives were easier to see because of the incident that occurred afterward. But if this common aspect included all the other cases as well, then I mulled it over and came up with... Oh, so many decisions. Is it a
そん
warning?
なことは分かってんのバカ。
Wow.
わざわざご親切に告知までして自分たちの正当性を世に訴えるべく見せつけてんのは今更指摘するようなことじゃねえだろ。
I couldn't really counter that with anything. He's exactly right.
落ち着いて考えてみろ星野。そこまで難しい問題じゃない。例えば分かりやすいのは6月だ。被害に遭ったクラスでは過去に自殺者が出ていたが、その生徒はいじめに遭っていたという話だ。もっとも明確な証拠がなかったために遺族が起こした裁判では敗訴だったらしいな。
Yanagi's words triggered a realization. But the bereaved family would be the primary suspects in the school explosion.
遺族には完璧なアリバイがあったんだよ。だから交換殺人なんだろ。
Then that would mean that all the cases are motivated by revenge.
アドニスは自分たちの犯行を裁きと称している。実際 X デー事件の動機になった問題は警察者対処できなかったものばかりだ。
I see. The police need definitive evidence of a crime in order to act. Bullying and stalking were tough to prove. When the police did respond, they usually had to take a wait and see a proof. Also, it was frustrating for the aggrieved rushing to judgment, which just generate many more failed arrests, like the May incident.
警察は何もしてくれない。だから自分たちの手で復讐してやろうって考えそのものはシンプルだよね。
だが肯定するわけにはいかない。それに俺たちが考えるべきことは別にある。
What's that?
今月に入ってから奴らの動きがおかしい。11月までの事件は容疑者こそ多数いたが、どいつもこいつも完璧なアリバイがあって捜査は完全に行き詰まってた。
Yeah, because they're substitution murder. Sasazuka signed upon hearing my response.
お前がそこにたどり着けた理由は今月の事件と関連性があったからだろう。
交換殺人という可能性だけならこれまでの捜査でも何度か浮かび上がっていた。だが断定できるほどの材料がなかったんだ。それが今月に入ってからの事件のおかげで皮肉にも捜査が進んだ。
つまり簡単すぎるんだよ今月の事件は。むしろずさんと言ってもいいレベル。
確かにね。どう考えても不自然。前はあんなに用意周到な犯行だったのに。
Does that mean I just blurted out what popped into my head? Ah, Hannah, you too late with that. I already knew this. Oh, but it's nice that you say it again. I know that it is Scheid's voice actor. But thank you for reminding me. And how are you today? Oh man, I don't know. They're running out of time. They're trying to be found. Is it because they are running out of time until their X day arrives?
X デーまでに何人殺すかノルマでもあるってのか。意味不明。
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Yeah, that's Scheid saying in English, right?
そうだな。こんなやり方じゃ、それこそ X デーを迎える前に少なくとも実行犯は逮捕されるだろう。
You're right. At some point, I became aware that Shirachi was staring at me intently. Is something?
もしかして君？
As I was being confused by Shirachi, Yanagi and Sasazuka had sudden epiphanies.
そうか。こいつがいた。
そういう考え方もできるか。
All three of them had begun staring directly at my neck. You, who questioned the form of rightnesses that the police cling to, would surely find our concept of justice more agreeable. Of course, we do not expect you to be persuaded by mere words. So please try to grasp the truth of the X-Day incidents. Discover our true intentions. You have until midnight on January 1st. We'll be watching you via Ishika Hoshino.
首輪をつけた相手は星野を含めた俺たちに X デー事件を負わせようとしている。そうすることで何かを期待しているんだ。星野のことも我々の良き理解者とまで言っていたくらいだからな。
それこそ意味不明だけどね。ほんと何考えてるんだ。
まあアドニスの思惑について考えても今の段階じゃ答えは出ねえしな。ただもし仮に俺たちにヒントを与えてるつもりなんだとしてもアドニスにとって7日の事件の容疑者はあくまで使い捨ての手駒レベルなんだろう。
Oh, Shirachi was saying something that they are just sacrificial pawns.
だってそれ以外考えられないでしょ。
That's true, but... Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining, Hannah. Enjoy your drama. I wasn't exactly satisfied with his answer because when Shirachi talked about these cases, he sounded remarkably detached from them. Honestly, it looked like he didn't care about things unless there was something he was interested in. But shouldn't this interest him? Also, maybe I just felt that way because I was really starting to get into solving this incident now.
ボケっとしてんのバカ。
I looked up and Sasazuka was glowering at me again.
お前はまだ俺らについてくるので精一杯だろ。 一言だって聞き漏らさねえくらいの勢いでしがみつかねえと振り落とすぞ。
I know. He actually would throw me out. With that thought in my mind, I straightened my posture and faced the tree once again.
しかし今の段階じゃ俺たちも手詰まりだな。
What? But it's like you said, they brought in someone for the 7 case, so the 8 is only a matter of time.
ああ、だがその後は。
Afterwards?
アドニス側がこれからも同じようにトカゲの尻尾切りを続けるかどうかわかんねえだろ。今もこの会話聞いてんだろうし、完全に奴らの手の内で転がされてるようなもんだ。
I reflexively put my hand to my neck. When I was first collared, I couldn't help but think about every little action I took. But recently, I've forgotten that it was on. Apparently, I was getting used to having this thing on. I need to stay vigilant, I tell myself.
おそらく捜査本部ではこれまでの事件の容疑者をしらみつぶしに当たっているだろう。俺や笹塚も退職するまでに上がっていた容疑者のことならある程度覚えているが、
俺が辞めた9月までの容疑者データならある。ただ多すぎて絞り込めねえだけ。
Isn't investigations headquarters having the same problem? I instantly glanced at Shiyashi. He was the only one here who worked in investigations headquarters.
とりあえず重要参考人の聴取はしたけど完全黙秘で何もつかめてないよ。ただありがたいことに自爆してくれたから今は別件逮捕で交流できてるんだけどね。
Self-destructed?
そう、器物損壊と暴行の現行犯でね。
Property. That guy's name is Manabu Soda. He's 20 years old and unemployed. I'd witnessed him being taken into custody, and while he was there, he seemed to have been resisting. Once he entered the interrogation room, he calmed down, as if he was an entirely different person, and apparently spoke as little as possible. But
念のため所持品を確認させてもらいます。どうか捜査にご協力を。
触んな！他のもんなら何でも持ってけよ。でも携帯だけはダメだ。もうすぐイベントが始まるんだから。
イベント？何のことだ？
てめえらのせいでランク落ちたらどうしてくれんだよ。こっちは命かけてんだからな。
おい、その携帯を押さえろ。何か事件に関係するものがあるかもしれん。
はい。ソーダさん、携帯を渡してください。
ダメだっつってんだろ。ランク S まで上げんのにいくら課金したと思ってんだよ。
ただ確認させていただくだけです。
嘘つけ。そう言って返さねえつもりだろ。分かってんだ
よ。ソーダさん、
やめろ。
シェル。
ソーダさん、落ち着きなさい。これ以上暴れると。
うるせえんだよ。あそこじゃ俺が神なんだよ。神がいねえイベントなんか盛り上がんねえだろうが。
Holy moly, he's going crazy.
いかん、取り押さえろ。そうだ、暴行及び器物損壊、公務執行妨害の現行犯として逮捕する。
ふざけんな携帯返せよ。返せ
My ear shit. Soda apparently overreacted to his cell phone, getting confiscated and swung a share around. Thanks to that, we were able to arrest him for a different crime and hold him, but...
彼、携帯を取り上げられちゃった後はすっかり意気消沈しちゃってさ。今は携帯返してくれしか言わないよ。壊れたロボットみたいにね。
そうか。あとは家宅捜査で何か出れば御の字ってところだな。
But even if they're a sacrificial pawn, they wouldn't just leave behind incriminating evidence. It was just like Yanagi said, we were obviously at a dead end right now.
一番楽なのは彼らが次の事件を起こすのを待つことなんだけどな。
What? I involuntarily lost my temper for a moment in reaction to the casual toss of suggestion. Yuzuka! That's so cute that you come by and ask if could you help me grind artifacts tomorrow? Just tell me when you have time, but I guess I will be awake like like my normal time, you know, in the morning. So we can, sure, we can farm then artifacts. Like, it will be probably 9 AM my time when I'm awake. So we can farm then the whole time artifacts if you want. And holy moly, stop this weird paper frog. It's irritating. Even if we are trying to get to Adonis, to just allow another victim to die is...
落ち着けバカ。
What? Is Easter tomorrow? No, it already was. You're too late. Easter was like last week. Last weekend it was. Sasazuka nodded my head like...
例え話だろ。それに実際問題他に打つ手がねえのも事実だ。
俺たちが総当たりで過去の容疑者を当たってみるにしても限度がある。
Nope. It was the weekend before. So it was on the 16, 17 and 18.
せめて内部の捜査状況がもっと詳しく分かればまだ洗ってない容疑者だけに絞れるんだけどな。
それでもほぼ無駄足になるだろう。アリバイが崩せない以上はな。
The inside of the agency went dead silent. Not a single solution came up. The heavy silence hurt my heart. I don't want there to be any more victims, so how can I possibly stop that? Sasazuka was the one who broke the silence.
ま、とりあえず今日はここまでだな。
ああ、俺は引き続き自分なりに事件を整理する。何か進展があれば情報は共有しよ
う。俺も続けて9月を追うよ。というかそれしか興味ないしね。
今捕まってる重要参考人とやらが犯人と確定すれば自動的に8月の犯人の手がかりも見えそうだけどな。それは俺らじゃ手が出せねえ領域だ。少し切り口を変えねえとな。
Yeah. Even Sasazuka's sharp tongue was reduced to the only providing vague directions for the moment. Today's meeting was adjourned without being able to determine any clear direction to proceed.
Mate.
Just as I stepped out of the agency, he stopped me from behind. Is something wrong, Sasazuka?
腹減った。飯、付き合い。
As soon as he said that, he started walking. Looks like I didn't have any say on the matter. I mean, it's not like I don't want to, but... Hold on, I'm coming.
さっさとしろよ、バカ猫。
Stop calling me that. He really can't speak his feelings. I thought as I run after him. When we reached the busy streets, Sasazuka's feet finally came to a halt.
お前何食いたい？
I responded to his question with a blank stare. I had just assumed he was going to choose a restaurant he wanted to eat at. Anything's fine. As I said that, Sasazuka knit his brow in an obviously irritated manner.
自分の意思ってもんがねえのか？人がせっかく聞いてやってんのに。
I'm not really a picky eater, so I'm fine with whatever you want to eat.
お前が決めろ。
But Sasazuka, you seem to have a lot of particular likes and dislikes. I couldn't help but be indecisive ways when I thought about Sasazuka's unexpected culinary landmines like the matcha donut. But Sasazuka was very insistent that I make a decision.
いいから決めろ。5秒以内。5、4。
That place over there. After we entered and we lead to our seats, the silence between us continued for a while. I couldn't endure the awkwardness any longer, so I courageously tried to break the silence. A 24-hour izakaya, it's pretty convenient, isn't it?
色気のかけらもねえけどな。
But this place is pretty good.
女が選ぶ店には思えねえけどな。
Sometimes I go drinking with my academy Paul.
あ、そう。
Sorry. I tried to follow up, but I couldn't help but feel that I was digging myself a deeper hole. Also, I was forced to decide suddenly. I felt like I completely botched the restaurant choice. This just happened to be the first place that I saw. Apparently, I was weak against his deadlines. Traumatized was probably a better word.
別にいいけど、食えれば何でも。
いらっしゃいませ。お先にドリンクのご注文を承ります。
カシスオレンジ。
I want an oolong.
あ
？I want a beer.
カシスオレンジと生、承りました。少々お待ちくださいませ。
I kind of feel guilty for drinking alcohol while the sun stood up.
なんだよ。
Is it okay to be drinking this early?
別に、お前非番だろ。
Well, I am, but you're...
どうせ今できることなんて何もねえし、飲むくらい平気。
The situation is pretty dire then. I took the menu without thinking and opened it towards Sasazuka. What should we get to eat? There's a lot of Japanese style food here, so tell me if there's something you don't like.
お前のおすすめは？
Any of the grilled chicken skewers are pretty good. Also the omelette, the boiled eggplant. I always get the small fish and radish salad.
じゃあそれ全部。焼き鳥は盛り合わせで。あ、レバーはいらねえからお前食え。
You don't like liver?
食えなくはねえけど、好んで空気しないだけ。あとは生春巻きと塩焼きそば、豚の角煮、フライドポテト、カキフライ。
You eat that much?
普通だろ。足りなかったら後で追加する。
He looks skinny, but he is still a guy. I masked my surprise and pressed the call server button. That reminds me, I heard that you go drinking with Sakuragawa sometimes. Which kinds of places do you go drinking at? I asked as I ate a chicken skewers and Sasazuka replied to a mouthful of fries.
あいつと行く店はとにかく肉。ステーキだろうが、しゃぶしゃぶだろうが、焼肉だろうが、肉以外の選択肢はね。
She must really like meat.
見てて胃もたれするくらい食うぞ、あいつ。変にこびたりしねえから一緒にいるのは楽だけど。
I think I sort of understand. She's a really frank person. She told me how you two meet. Seems like your first meeting left quite an impression on her.
ああね。
It seemed as though he was remembering something, but rather not. He shocked his second drink, a screwdriver, and sighed.
くだらねえ上下関係のせいで捜査進まなくてイラついてたから。日本に帰ってきて一番めんどくせえのがそれだった。
You used to live in the US, right? Is life over there really that different?
割と能力次第でどうとでもなるとこあるし、俺にとっては水が合ってたかもな。でも向こうは向こうでめんどくせえとこもある。特に学校。スクールカーストとかマジくだらねえ。途中でドロップアウトしてやったけど。
What? You dropped out?
ああ、14の時な。アジア系って向こうじゃ変に侮られんだよ。相手すんのにやけさしたから。
Tells this pretty casually, but that seems like a pretty big deal. I cut the tamagoyaki to let it cool off a bit. Sasazuka laughed devilishly as he saw me trying to figure out how to react.
言っとくけど、いわゆる落ちこぼれじゃねえぞ。その後は起業したり株転がしたりしてたから
な。Started a business?
ネットで輸入関係のな。3年くらいやって飽きたからやめたけど。親父が IT 関係の仕事してたから、ガキの頃からそっち系には強かったんだよ。ハッキング覚えたのもその頃だったし。
That word was completely foreign to me. Wow, that's amazing.
別に自分に向いてる生き方してるだけ。日本じゃ学歴ねえとマイナスになるだろう。
That's true, but being able to support yourself at such a young age is pretty amazing, I think.
あ、そう。別に褒めても何も出ねえぞ。
I'm just speaking my mind.
とりあえずレバーでも食っとけ。
Enough is feeding me already. I signed and reluctantly accepted the scared liver. He could be an amazing person, scary or mean. You needed to be careful around Sasazuka. You know, hearing what you had to say earlier, it seems really odd that you became a police officer in Japan. Did something cause you to come back to Japan?
別に。なんとなく。
But you're the one who decided that you should become a police officer, right?
取り調べのつもりかよ。
What?
どうでもいいだろう。そんなこと。
I was puzzled by Sasazuka's suddenly icy demeanor. Was it something I shouldn't have asked? In response to the awkward silence, No, I came up with the subject after a while. Oh, do you think that I'd be able to hack?
は
Oh my god. Nice subject. Sasazuka looked surprised. I was aware that I'd said something insane, but I needed to change the subject. I'm not too familiar with that sort of thing, but maybe I could help with that a bit. He erupted with laughter with a look on his face that was obviously mocking me.
いらねえし、確実に無理。
But if you taught me, I could help with some of it at least.
最低限 C 言語くらいマスターしてから出直してこい。
See?
プリスクールから出直せって言った方が良かったか。
Kindergarten?
幼稚園。
I think you're going a bit too far. Afterwards, Sasazuka boosted his spirits by completing the goal of eating each dessert on the menu. I felt way beyond stuffed from watching him plow through dessert after dessert. That was it for our meal. Then, once I went outside, the sun was about to set. I averted my gaze from the bright sunset, looked at Sasazuka and bowed my head. Thank you for the food. I'll repay you some other time.
別に年下のしかも女に払わせるとかねえし。
I didn't actually think that he thought of things like that. That's unexpected. And just when my opinion of him had right.
だからって送ってやるほど親切じゃねえぞ。一人で帰れ。
I get home just fine. He just ruined even that by opening his mouth. As I pouted and looked away, what I saw directly in front of me was... What? My eyes went wide. Kazuki.
なんだ
Oh, sorry. My little brother is over there.
弟どれ
Those two over there. The one with the guitar is my brother. Is something wrong? Sasazuka's expression immediately stiffened when he looked in that direction. But the light the two of them were waiting on had turned green and... Ah. Sorry, Sasazuka. I'm going to get my little brother. Today I must get him to come back home.
待て。
Simultaneously he grabbed me by the arm.
いくら
What? Look, you don't under...
いいから代わりにメールしろ。今どこにいるって。
What is this about? I didn't want to waste any time arguing, so I sent a text to Kazuki. Where are you right now? I saw Kazuki, who was just about to begin walking, take out his cell phone. Once he saw the screen, he looked annoyed. I saw it all the time, but it's still there. A response arrived. Akito's house, I'm staying over. No, this can't be. Kazuki and Akito seemed to be discussing something and they began walking. Stunned, I watched their figures disappear into the distance. Maybe he'd been lying yesterday and the day before that too. So where he go and what's he be doing? With a city like this, another incident could happen at any time. Sasazuka tugged the arm he was still holding and turned around to follow. Sasazuka wore a stern look on his face.
気が変わった。家まで送ってやる。
What? Sa was still befuddled. Sasazuka held up his hand and summoned a taxi. Reluctantly, I got into the car and gave the driver my address at Sasazuka Route. Sasazuka only stared at the view outside the window as if he was glaring at it, and didn't utter a single word. Thank you very much. I exited the taxi first, and after thanking Sasazuka, who was still in, he also exited the car for some reason. Why? As I was still confused, the taxi closed its door and sped off.
お前の家、何号室？
Oh,
さっさと案内しろ。
after that, he headed into the complex, and I quickened my pace to get ahead of him. As I unlocked and opened the door, Sasazuka immediately entered.
弟の部屋、どこ？
Okay. Kazuki's room? Why?
いいから、どこだ？
I promised that I'd never enter his room without his permission.
バレなきゃいい。どうせ今夜は帰ってこねえんだろ。
Explain yourself now. I should have the right to know this. Just because he was my partner didn't mean that I needed to allow him to do everything. Once he saw that I wasn't about to budge, Sasazuka clicked his tongue. Explain it to me, please.
お前の弟と一緒にいたやつ。
Akito? What about him?
セラ・アキト。あいつは6月の事件の容疑者の一人だった。
Akito was, but
容疑者リストで写真も確認してる。間違いない。
my brain refused to process this information.
もっとも6月の事件は数日前に学園祭があったせいで人の出入りも多かった。その分容疑者の数も多かったんだよ。でもその中でも特別セラ・アキトは疑わしいやつだった。それでも逮捕に至らなかったのはあいつが未成年だったからと完璧なアリバイがあったからだ。
A perfect alibi? That would normally make me feel relieved, but it does the exact opposite. Substitute murder? So long as that was a possibility, a perfect alibi made him look even more suspicious. As I stood frozen from the shock, Sasazuka began to talk.
これで分かったろ。弟の部屋を教えろ。でなきゃ勝手に家探しさせてもらう。
I nodded awkwardly and led Sasazuka to Kazuki's room. I hadn't been inside this room for a while. It was a typical boys' room, in a state of moderate disarray. I apologize for the mess.
いい。それよりお前も手伝え。何でもいい。世良明人との関係性や事件につながりそうなものを探すぞ。
Alright. Something like that won't be found. Kazuki's not tied to the incidents in any way. As I repeated that in my head, I looked around the room. The corkboard on the top of the desk had a calendar. Starting this month, many more things had been written on the calendar. Rehearse a meeting, go to the studio, REC.
お前の弟ってバンドでもやってんの？
He plays the guitar sometimes, but I'd never heard anything about him being in a band.
黙ってただけかも。
Maybe that's all this is. I hadn't had a proper conversation with Kazuki in quite a while. I felt awful that I didn't know a bit about my little brother's daily life. What's this? Darkness consumes my world every day. I won't let anyone get in my way. My dream world, I'm almost there. Just a little more, and I won't care. Sasazuka, who'd been reading over my shoulder, let out a disgusted scoff.
いかにもありがちだな。
Are these lyrics or something?
アドニス神父のメッセージと読み取れないこともねえけど。
That can't.
可能性の話だろ。
Take a closer look. Strewn about the components on the top of the rack was a number of CDs. I looked closer and saw that the covers all had the same person on them. If someone as ignorant about music as me felt like I'd seen a musician before, that guy must be pretty famous. I wonder if Kazuki's a fan of theirs.
おい、それちょっと見せろ。
It's just a CD, but after I handed it to him, Sasazuka looked at it and made a sour look.
一色康弘か。
Is he somewhat famous?
その界隈じゃそうかもしれねえけど、俺が知ってるのは別件だ。こいつも容疑者の一人だった。過去に5人逮捕されてる。こいつのバンドがメジャーデビュー寸前だったこともあって、それなりにニュースになってたぞ。
Yeah, I just remembered that. Game the cop's dream becomes the corpse. Pun headlines like that dominated the paper. Their lead vocalist Yasushiro Ishiki shoved a man who was harassing him into the train tracks, killing them. Another man who had been there was also trying to de-escalate the situation. but he was falsely arrested as well. Only after the testimony of many witnesses were heard did the incident finally get cleared up. It was not murder, but an accident. Ishiki was proven innocent, but the arrest submarined his career. His dreams of music, superstardom were dead and buried.
悲劇のボーカリストとも言われてたな。確か当時組んでたバンドガイムだったか、それも事件が原因で解散したはずだ。人生壊されたと言っても過言じゃねえ。警察に対しては相当恨みがあるだろうな。
I think Katsuki was listening to his CDs simply because he liked their music. To be related to a person like that is As I scanned the top of the desk, a pink envelope caught my attention. Atop the simple desk's letter stood in contrast to its surrounding. Is it a love letter, maybe?
読め。
What? Isn't that going too far?
見た後封筒に戻せば問題ねえだろ。
I muttered an apology to Kazuki in my head and took the letter out of the envelope.
なんだこれ。ファンレターか。
Things like you're great on guitar, you have a great future ahead, I'm cheering for you, and so on were written very meticulous. Doesn't feel like this is being written about Kazuki. What's written here describes a Kazuki that I don't know.
送り主は花。ハンドルネームみたいなもんか。何熟読してんだよ。そんな面白いことでも書いてあんの？
No, it's not that. Reject the adults and their selfish again. You don't care, don't even pretend. Adults who need them. I just want freedom. This is probably his rebellious.
数年後には黒歴史確定だ。
If you can, please just forget this. For Kazuki's honor, I pretended not to see that. Kazuki, I wonder if he was writing this our parents and me.
Tsuka, これ何語だ？ほとんど読めない。暗号かよ。
A Giaru emoji. Yeah, it's probably Gall Scroll.
意味不明。まさかお前もこんな字書くの？
No, I think writing like that at my age is pretty embarrassing.
まあそれはもういいだろう。
Okay.
これちゃんと見てみろ。
Sasazuka opens the CD case and handed it to me. Ah.
お前の弟の名前宛てのサイン。おまけに連絡先が書かれたカ カード入り。少なくとも面識はあるんじゃねえの？
That's
X デー事件の容疑者が2人も身近にいるのが偶然か否かだな。
I'm sure it's be a coincidence. I knew if he said that, I was just lying to myself. I'd have no comeback, but Sasazuka just kept crying.
とりあえずこの連絡先はお前も控えておけ。
My hands were slow to enter the information.
おい、ここ見てみろ。
I looked at where Sasazuka was pointing. December 9th, written on today's date, it said concert. The writing was bigger than all the others, and there was even a star. Does that mean that Kazuki's about to have a concert?
他人事みてえな言い方してんじゃねえよ。とりあえずもうこれはいいな。
Yes. After we investigated most of the items here, I was pretty much shell-shocked. I really didn't know anything at all. The kind of people Kazuki hang out with, how he spent his time. I even thought that his guitar playing was just a little hobby or something. I couldn't stop shaking.
星野、しっかりしろ。
Sasazuka. It was so scary that I couldn't take it. What should I... If something happened to Kazuki? If he's tied to the incident, Kazuki will... Right as I was about to fall to my knees.
落ち着け。
I was clinging onto his arm without thinking.
まだ何も分かってねえ。だから調べてんだろ。
His quiet voice filled my ear.
冷静になれ。
He put my head on his shoulder and patted me.
お前がしっかりしなくてどうすんだよ。
Patted me to help me keep calm. But tears started flowing like a deluge. My voice cracked as I sobbed. If he was involved in the incidents, then I...
だとしたらどうする？
The words pierced right into my heart.
弟可愛さに見逃すのか？
My head froze immediately.
もし事件に関わりがあるとして、これから起こるかもしれない犯罪を見逃すのか？
一番楽なのは彼らが次の事件を起こすのを待つことなんだけどな。
What? Even if we are trying to get to Adonis, to just allow another victim to die, I'm the worst. I didn't have the right to rebuke Shirashi. As that thought ran through my head, Sasazuka quietly asked,
姉として、警察官として、今のお前にできることは。
My brain was running in circles and I couldn't find the right words to say. But this time Sasazuka quietly and patiently waited for me to compose my thoughts. I nervously racked my brain for an answer, even so I didn't have a time limit. I'll investigate. I say it as if trying to squeeze the words out. I investigate truly in order to find concrete proof that Kazuki's not involved. And if he is involved, so I can be prepared to stop him no matter what.
よく言った。
He voiced that sentiment with a small chuckle that tickled my ears.
そうでなきゃ、一日持たずにパートナー失格になるとこだ。
Also, his brusque way of phrasing things hadn't changed. It felt pretty kind now.
仕方ねえから俺も協力してやる。だからさっさと頭切り替えろ。 もう少しくらいならこうしててやるから。
Sasazuka continued to not mind my hand clanging into his jacket and didn't have an unkind comment about it. That was my only relief. Later on, Sasazuka looked up the concert information and even got me the tickets. Apparently the show was tonight at 7. I have to get a hold of my... Inside the taxi, I quickly took a peek at Sasazuka as he sat next to me. Everything will be fine. I was worried about Kazuki, but nothing would come of grieving right now. I trusted Kazuki. He wasn't the type who would commit crimes. I knew that better than anyone. Besides, I've got a reliable partner pitching in. He said that he'll help out also. Then all I could do was do my best as well to prove Kazuki's innocence. It'll all be fine, I'm sure. Words spoken aloud will definitely come true. I began to realize Sasazuka wholeheartedly since he had somehow inspired me to believe that way. Wow.
うるせえ。
There was a throng of people in front of the concert. Many girls were decked out in a gaudy fashion. Those girls must have been groupies. Sasazuka, don't we stand out?
平気な顔してろ。気を取ってる方が浮いて見える。
Despite his instruction, I was unable to adapt to the atmosphere and I was looking around. Then...
てかさ、ヒロのソロライブって今回が最後かもって話。
ああ、あれ新版始めるとか言う。
そうそう、今日もサポメンで出るんでしょ。なんだっけ名前、ギターの。
カズキだよ、カズキ。
My shoulders sized up as I suddenly heard Kazuki's name mentioned.
ヒロくんがスカウトしたらしいから確実。超楽しみ。
花直接聞いたの？
Hannah? She's the girl from the letter.
いつものバーで貼ってたらビンゴ。相変わらず全然構ってくれなかったけど。
Holy, what is she wearing?
でもカズキのことを話した時だけはヒロくん珍しくテンション上がってた。珍しい。ヒロが自分から喋るとか。
なら今夜のライブって本格的にカズキのお披露目なのかな。
ソロもいいけどやっぱヒロくんにはバンドが合ってるよ。カズキも将来有望だし、もうメアドもゲット済み。出たよ、お互い。花さすが。てへペロ。ヒロくんを追っかけるにもつながりは多い方がいいし。
まあね、タイムの求めも今じゃ裏切り者扱いでパッとしないし、私も別のつながり作ろうか
な。うちはもう全員切った。ヒロ裏切っといて今になってファンにすり寄ってくるとかないわ。カズキいいよ、初々しくてちょっとくっついただけですぐ真っ赤になっちゃうし。
マジ？いいよね、染まってないか。今から目つけとけば食えるかな。
ちょっと気早すぎ。でも本命はヒロくんだけだけどね。
おい、その顔はやめとけ。
And what kind of look I'm making?
今にも現行犯逮捕に行きそうな顔。
Once he said that, I abruptly covered my face and took a deep breath. Next time I see Kazuki, we'll have a talk about the types of people he needs to look out for.
会場を始めます。皆さん、こちらの列に並んでください。
ほら、行くぞ。
Okay. We started lining up for the entrance in a way that let us avoid those girls. We found a spot at the back of the line, so Kazuki wouldn't see us from the stage.
オールスタンディングなら大丈夫だろう。ステージからじゃわかんない。だからもうちょっと落ち着け。
Yes, but it's so unbelievable. The show hadn't started and all the girls were shouting the band member's name. It was almost like a current pushed us forward as people tried to squirm into the front of the club. It's this crazy before it's even started. I was utterly overwhelmed by the atmosphere and I tried to stay close to Sasazuka and What is this?
だから落ち着け。ライブが始まるんだよ。
As we finished that exchange, the bright light of the spotlight illuminated the top of the stage. The person that was standing atop the stage was Yashiro Ishiki.
今夜伝説が始まる。
With those words, the fans that were making so much noise closed their mouths and a rapt silence swept over the venue.
ここにいるみんなが証人。覚悟、できてる？足りない。覚悟は？
Well, he looks good. Why I can't date him? Oh my god, he looks so good there.
OK。それじゃあまず、この曲からいこうか。グレイスフルデイズ。
Okay, the bass vibrated to my body. I could feel pressure from the sound, and the crowd was going crazy. I was intimidated. And yet, wow, the one playing the guitar on stage, driving the crowd wild, was unmistakable possibility. But it was my little brother. He looked like a real musician. I wasn't able to shout his name out like all the other girls around me. But I still wanted to send out a bit of personal inspiration. You're amazing, Takeru.
結構やるじゃん。
Well, I think that's a great time to make